properly. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at where the valve reliefs are on the top of the piston. The intake valve reliefs are a little bit larger than the exhaust ones. Now that everything is blueprinted and we know that the block is good, ready to be assembled, I'm going to go and paint it. So we'll just tape off all the parts that I don't want painted and get out there with some engine enamel. We're going to stick with normal black this time. Now it's time to make sure all the gaps in the rings are correct. What happens is, with a slight bore diameter change, it can change the gap in the ring, and we want a very specific gap. So what I'll do is put the ring into the cylinder, square it up in the cylinder by just putting a piston in it, and then use a feeler gauge to see if the gap is the correct width. So these are a little bit narrow, so I'm going to put them in the ring grinder and actually grind the end of the ring. So when it grinds the end of the ring, it's taking some of the material off. And when you do that, you just have to make sure that you don't have any burrs or anything on the edges that could potentially scrape the cylinder wall or not allow the ring to seat properly. Once the rings are all gapped, it's time to install them onto the pistons. The first one is the oil spring. So that is like a spring that pushes out the oil rings. The next is the second ring. This one is usually a cast material that's a little bit more brittle. So I'll install that a little bit differently by expanding it instead of twisting it. The cast rings don't like to be twisted and can actually crack. The top ring can be twisted on. There's also little letters on these specific rings that show which is up. These have a little N on them. So I'll go ahead and twist that on and then do it to the rest of the other 6 pistons. I also like to